Hello, you've reached the White Knuckle Realtor. I'm currently occupied working on my virtual tour of the new space we've opened up, the Nest. But if you're a client, leave a message with your name and number, and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Have a good day. Alright. Okay, and we're back in more White Knuckle. Finally, dude. I know I've kind of disappeared off the face of everything for a while now, but I'm finally back to do my job and rank which room in White Knuckle will make the best home. My camera's a little bit crooked. The Nest is out. This is huge. I was planning on maybe making a video on just the Nest coming out in general, but I just didn't feel like it. Like, everyone's making that video, so I didn't feel like I had anything useful to add. So I just I've been playing it. I imagine you guys have been playing it. It's freaking awesome. And we're gonna go see which room makes the best home. If you're new to the series, probably go watch the other episodes, but if you don't want to, we judge based on, like, amount of light, amount of nice, like, floor space to chill out in, coziness, and a big rule is, I do not consider the big threat of the whole region. So in silos, there's the mass rising up. That's not a considering factor for me. I'm judging based off of the rooms alone. But it does mean if each room has, like, a spawn of a blood bug or some smaller entity like that, you do consider that. So, no mass, not going to consider the mass, not going to consider the hunter, and yeah, I think we can get right into it. Shout out again to Uncle Lloyd, who inspired this entire series, and let's go. This is the first room you will enter straight from the abyss. It is the safe area. Now technically this whole room is huge because we have several sections. First one being this one. Now this is a pleasant start in my opinion. The lighting is very subdued and there's a pretty good amount of floor space, like all across the floor here. And you have these sections that are a little bit brighter with these tree of life trees. I don't even know what they're called. So yeah, big open room there. You come in here, you get a door to open, and you could probably close it. I haven't been able to figure out how, but we enter into this other large room with even more floor space. And because it's a safe area, always get the computer. Computer's nice. Most of what I like about this room is that it's so dim. You have all this space, but it's all so dimly lit. It's easy on the eyes. So because of the amount of space, the light, it is a bit infested. Like, you get some life over here, and you get one of these guys here. It's not super fun to deal with. This is where I would sleep, I think. It's very dark, very nice. Only one entrance. You don't got to worry about anyone coming in from the sides. I'm gonna give this safe area an A tier. The only thing dragging it down for me is really the infections from all of the life here. Now we enter into Interlude 8. I've tried to number the interludes just based on the order they come in the game. This is technically the 8th interlude. And we start out in this very tall vertical shaft, which is fine. Not much space. And from the perspective of somebody, because this is how I've considered it the whole time we've been doing this. From the perspective of somebody who just waltzes in here and looking for a home, it's not great. You get this ring around the floor of space, and apart from that, you basically have to climb to get anything else. There's not much else in this room. It's infested with blood bugs. And technically, this is the room that opens out into the Mother's Hub, is what I like to call this room. It's just this big open space. You can't really use it for anything. The Mother, like, cool to hang out with. Great person. But we have to consider the fact that you can't really get here. As a normal human being, you can't really get up here. So considering that all the space we have is this ring down here, and I guess this little hallway, we get the little hallway. I gotta give it D tier. It's so hard to get to the good part of the room. Okay, now we get into the Infested intro. This is the intro room to So this room has some shrubbery, which I appreciate. I actually appreciate shrubbery in a room like this. It's definitely the preferred form of life to be growing in a room. This room is nothing more than, like, just a hallway with a slightly more open room here, but it's nice lighting. I appreciate the red glow you get off this button. It also is like a fidget toy. You can only click it once, though. One fidget is all you get. But yeah, it's not a lot of space, but it's good space. This is the most dim area. I would sleep back here. Probably not on this shit, but I'm gonna give this place a B tier. B tier's pretty good. Alright, and now we are into Infested Chase. This room is basically, as far as I know, this room is the sort of intro to the chase sequence in general. We start off in a very similar hallway here. As a matter of fact, I think it's a little bit longer. We get these two little rooms, this big open room, which is a little bit bright in my opinion. You can always sleep in the hallway over here where it's darker. But there's a very convenient ladder here, and if you make your way up here, there's an awesome little vent system. So if you're really looking for somewhere to sleep, there's some like life you gotta crawl past here. Pretty good corner here, pretty good corner here. It's very secluded. It's secluded. Put up a definition for that. Secluded, very condensed and quiet. Maybe a little cold, but honestly, like, there's not too much to complain about in this room, I think. We'll give it an A tier. Certified good room. Alright, now we finally get into Infested 01. Now the numbers are going to start going up now. I also kind of have to no-clip through this whole thing because the hunter keeps trying to spawn. If you go into any room like this, like, I'm sure if I wasn't no-clipping, he would break through this door right now. So this room is nice. It opens up into, again, very similar hallway. A lot of these start with a hallway like this. This one has a door you can open and close. I guess it's not gonna work. Oh, there we go. And it's a little bit, you get a little bit of an infestation. A nice hammer will deal with these guys perfectly fine. Pretty easy stuff. And we open out into this huge room. Look at this. Now, realistically, if you are somebody just looking for a home, you're probably not going up past the ground floor here. And like, there is stuff up here. It's not great. You get a bit more of an infestation up here with these guys. Ooh, food bar. But yeah, let's just consider down here. Seems most realistic to me. It's pretty good space. And there's a nice variation in light. You could hide under this thing. Might be a bad idea. I don't know if I would trust that that's going to stay propped up like that. But I think overall it's going to get a B tier from me. I think it's not too bad. Infested 02. So this place, the hallway is interrupted by actually a very nicely dimly lit room here. I always prefer the warm lighting. I'm sure you guys know that by now. I say it a lot. But this place is very warmly lit. You got these fireflies. I don't even know what these are. Pretty awesome. Get another door. Door's good. I like a door. You open out into this little room. I like this room. It's divided pretty well with these pillars, but I will say we get a little bit of a problem over here. These guys, I think, will almost immediately notice that you're here and come down. So maybe we actually don't go into this room. Maybe we stop at this line. You could probably use this hallway fine. I'm gonna give it a B tier because it's good, but you can't really go past this line without those little crabs noticing you. So this third room is much more infested, I will say. There's a lot more life spread around the place. Right off the bat, this room that in the previous ones was just a nice hexagon room that was just dimly lit is now like filled with this stuff. I don't even know what this is. But it's squishy to the touch. I don't like that. And if you can launch yourself up, there's a few floors here, but it's all like not great stuff. Because these are your roommates. They're not very friendly. They're not. And they're kind of on every floor. They're not on this one, but this is the hardest one to get to, conveniently. So in terms of usable space, you could use this graded floor here and maybe some of this. It's more space than the Interlude had. I'm going to give it a C tier. It's just so infested. Let's see what this one has for us. Awesome tree. Compared to the last room, this is already more space. You get a tree, which is, again, good life. You don't want the gross, squishy life. You want the good plant life. So this first section is great. beyond this first section, there's not a whole lot of promising stuff. You have to climb the tree to even get up here. And there's a nice dark corner here if you can get up here. But beyond this, it's kind of not very livable, I would say. Also, you got these guys. So yeah, the first section's good. I'm gonna give this a B tier in terms of the actual usable space. It's pretty decent. Infested 05. Again, starts similar. You get a little bit of space here, a little bit less than the last one because of these bulbous life balls. This place is infected with balls. It's the worst kind of infection. It's very little space. Let's be real. It's very little space and no lighting. I mean, I guess there's that. That's really sad, though. You want a cold fluorescent light to be your only source of light. And if you want to use anything else, you have to crawl up through the balls. And there is nothing else to use because it's all just water again. Trust me, you don't even want to get near this water, guys. It is not healthy for you. D. It's like the least space out of all these rooms so far, and there's not even comforting lighting. Alright, this is a bit of a weird one. Stick with me. Infested. This is the transition from Infested Labs to the feeding trough. And it's basically just a hallway. It gets up to this railing. There's some weird object mashing going on here. Ignore this whole doorway and this arch. Otherwise, it's just a hallway. I mean, it's fine. It's cold, but it's fine. There's no life taking up space. It's gonna be a C tier. Just a little corridor. Alright, now we're getting into the hot zone. I know I teased the trough. I talked about it. But let's saving that for the end. This is the hot zone intro room. It's basically a bowl of death. It's just a big bowl. You get these guys who will normally want to just shoot their juices at you. They shoot these little spikes. It's not fun. And they do it no matter what. You could be a nice roommate to them. They don't care. They'll still shoot at you. You really have no chance because they'll see you from anywhere. F tier? There's space. We gotta give their space, but yeah, it's an F tier. Now we're in hot zone 01. We really get into the juice here. This is really not much of anything. You want to avoid everything up here. And like it's hard to get up there too. I don't think most people are getting up there. We're looking at the ground floor. You get more of these guys that suck, but hear me out. I don't think it's quite F tier because oh, hello. He's doing flips. What? I think we can make an argument for D tier here because there's a little bit of space to hide. It's a big enough floor space. I think you can be like a good distance from those guys. And if you find a nook here, or even over here, if you want to find a nook right here, it's kind of maybe doable, maybe. I'm going to give it a D tier, giving it the benefit of the doubt. Trust me, we're taking what we can get because these next rooms are they're not promising. Basically the same deal up here. This guy sucks. Don't want to even get near this guy. He is a grumpy bastard. But for this one, the ground floor is guarded by 4 of these zombie roommates once again. Yeah. Pretty much unusable. You could, if you killed them, you could make the space work. You could also maybe hide from them back here behind this tree. It's still an F tier. It's pretty bad. So this is Hot Zone 03. You get less zombie roommates at the bottom. But they're still there. There's a little bit more mass here. Maybe you could find a better hiding spot. But I don't think so. Because these guys are roaming around. They'll find you eventually. And once again, everything up here is very much hard to traverse and unusable. Unlivable. F tier. Once again. Hot Zone 04. Do I really gotta say it? Zombie roommates, uneven floor, and nothing up here. It's an F tier. Come on. Okay, now we're in the hot zone outro. Things look up a little bit. Get it? Look up. Because if you look up, you'll see that it's not quite as bad. These guys are pretty, passive, I think. Wait, do they drift towards you? Okay, they do drift towards you. That's not good. But they're slow. A bit easier to avoid. Maybe probably easier. Like, you could probably find a rock at the ground, throw it at them, and they just explode. Watch. And you have this whole area on the floor to work with. If you somehow manage to climb up, there's not much else. But I will say, I don't think you're as guaranteed dead as the other places. Or I'll give it a D tier. Giving it the benefit of the doubt once again. Alright, and this is the transition from the hot zone to the trough. This, similar to the other transition, is just a corridor met with this room. This is not a terrible room, actually. I gotta give it that. But there's not much going on. You get a warm light over there, but it doesn't really shine down anywhere. It's very weak. It's mostly just a circular room, which is fine. C. And now we actually get into the trough. I won't say anything. I'll let it speak for itself once we get it through it. This is the trough intro. There's some space here. I believe the cutoff is around this line where this room starts. There's some space here at the bottom. If you just want to cuddle up here, you could do that. But everything else is infested with balls and at an angle. Look at this sharp angle. There's no way you're climbing up that. I'm gonna give it a D tier. It's really not a whole lot of anything. God, I feel like I'm being so harsh to the nest, but it's a lot of it's just really not. Oh no. One of my biggest fears making video content is losing footage, and I haven't done it in several years. Ever since I played, what was it, Subnautica? How many years ago was that? Put it on screen. I have not lost footage. I fucking lost footage, and it makes me so unreasonably angry. So yeah, I got through the whole video. Like I just did the outro like 5 minutes ago. Somehow I paused the recording in the middle of all of it. I don't know how. So I have to redo the trough, which is fine. I'm fine. I have to drink some water. Alright. Trough 01. This is weirdly familiar. It almost feels like I've done this before. Like, some kind of deja vu. To give you the gist of it, this room sucks. It's very infested. It's raining, obviously. Loud, wet, soggy. You get a zombie roommate. There is some space, we have to give it that. There's a platform here. There's one up here. But it's still no good. It's an F tier. We're gonna put it there. Alright, here's Trough 02. Once again, raining. It opens up a little bit. I pointed that out before. This is Trough 01, and then it opens up, kind of, into Trough 02. But it's basically just as wet, just as little space, just as much life. It's another F tier. Now, Trough 3, it stops raining. It gets drier. It gets louder, though, because listen to that rumble you get from all these barnacles, all these barnacle boys. Also, these guys suck. And yeah, this whole room is basically just, like, it's drier, but there's, like, less space, so that's also gonna be an F tier. And Trough 4 is basically the exact same thing. It starts here, it goes up, it's a little bit more condensed. You can maybe stand there. I don't know, dude. It's pretty terrible. It's my best climb. Awesome. Good stuff. It's gonna be another F tier because it's basically the exact same room. Trough 5. Interesting again because it opens up. The ones that open up are interesting to me. And this one has like a gridded floor with all these pipes. But really still not very usable for anything. And a lot of this meat life juice spread everywhere. There's not much space, but there's space. I think it still gets an F tier because it's still just not, it's nowhere near as good as some of the other places we've gotten. Now, Trough 6. I kind of argued with myself about this when I did it earlier already, because I already did it earlier, because I did it about 10 minutes ago. I already did it. I'd argue with myself because I think this room gets higher than an F tier because there's no life on the walls. There are the crabs. You got to worry about the crabs, but it's fine. There's no life on the walls. It's dry. It's quiet. And you get 2 platforms. I think there's sitting room, standing room, laying down room even here. You can even lay against this slanted wall. That'd be great, actually. I'm gonna give it a D. I think it gets 1 spot up. This one is a little bit of a stretch. When you guys hear my score, you're gonna be like, what? How? I don't think it's F tier. because this place, it is a lot of life, but the life kind of makes it cozier in a weird way. Because look, it's all cavernous. It's like caved off. You can lay down here. If you climb up, you can stand over here. You can lay down here. And if you go up further, there's an even bigger floor here, even if it is made of the meat. It's a lot more space, so I'm gonna give it a D. Just like 6, it gets a D. And because it's my own tier list, and I can make it a D if I want to make it a D, so it's gonna be a D, and it's my own tier list that I already listed all these levels on. I already listed them, and Alright. Trough 8. This room sucks, to put it simply. As a matter of fact, I believe it's the worst room so far, for reasons that I will explain right now. There's one pipe. This is the beginning of the room. There's one pipe. Absolutely nothing else until you get to the top of the room. And then there's another pipe. They're pipes. Not only are they pipes, it's raining, so they're wet. They have, like, algae growing on them. And there's these crabs again. Get the fuck out of here. This is the only room so far that I think has absolutely zero livable space. FF tier. Double F tier. Now here's the Trough outro. I'm going to explain this room backwards. I'm going to start at the end. Because I want you guys to know why we can't score this room high. This is the absolute cleanest, brightest, most put together room we've ever had in White Knuckle. You even get a dimly lit part of the corridor. It's huge. And like, I would give this corridor an S on its own if it was its own room, just because of how clean it is. But you don't start here. You start down there, past all of this bullshit. So all the space we can consider is basically this space here. Not great. As a matter of fact, it's kind of wet. We'll give it a D tier, because I think that's what it deserves. And then the final room, and you might be thinking, we already did this room. I remember doing this room. No, because our focus, if I could ever get through it, is over here. Because this room did not exist until the nest came out. So I'm considering it a nest room. The Bazaar. There they are. The absolute goat. So this is the shop. This is the Bazaar trading shop. Very nicely lit room. Get these very dark corners you could go hide in. It's a little bit small. Maybe it's not S tier potential, but it's really cozy. Look at this guy. They're just chilling. I'm sure they're looking for company. I'm sure they would let you stay here if you asked. You got music? You got music controls too. The Bazaar's room is just awesome. You get these awesome, look at these beads. Good decoration. I'm gonna give the Bazaar an A tier. And that closes out the nest. You know what's really funny? When I did this outro the first time, I talked about how, wow, this recording went really fast. I think this went faster than some of the other ones. I think at this point, it's taken about as long. Because I had to go back through and do... I'm not going to complain about it anymore. I will stop complaining about it. I want to talk about just a little bit. I haven't uploaded in a while. And it's because I'm getting really busy. Like, with no signs of stopping. Because I'm employed now. Congratulations, me. I have a job outside of being the White Knuckle realtor, which is obviously my main focus, but I have other things to do too now. But I'm not going anywhere. I feel like I don't have too much at this very moment. I don't have too much to contribute to the White Knuckle content space that hasn't already been done a million times. So I'm not too motivated to make a lot of stuff right now, but I do still want to do the bindings videos. I want to find out which one's the worst one. It's gonna be slow because I'm busy now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Holly, if you're watching, shout out to you. You've been my biggest supporter. I do really appreciate that Holly enjoys these videos, and I hope my like month-long absence hasn't made everyone forget that I exist. But if they have, this is my explosive return. And yeah, that's it for the series until the core comes out. I think it's called the core, the next update, the next big update. And then, yeah, that'll be it. Oh, wait, I need to jump from somewhere. This is how I end all my videos. I almost forgot. I almost forgot my roots. Can't believe I almost forgot my roots. That's crazy. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed.
Deactivated.
You really gonna interrupt me? Holly? I was just complimenting you. Like, just a second ago. And now you're gonna interrupt me speaking. Okay. Alright. Hope you enjoyed.